Hi guys. Hi guys. It's let's take the apron off apart thing here. Yeah, let's start over there. Hi guys, it's take the apron off again time. Hey guys, it's time to take the apron off again. There we go. I got some comments, and these are very valid points here. George Woosky made a comment, and very valid. And Mr. Pectorum's workshop, Kev, also had some advice. The engagement problem seems to be between the crank, the main crank, and the rack. Now, the main crank transmits its motion to a gear in there which moves this. And this knob here, the knob is missing, but you pull that out, the hand wheel will spin freely. And when you push it back in, it engages that gear. Okay. That shaft has a kind of a tricky little key that it's mechanical, I guess. The key will, when pulling this knob, the key gets pulled in and is no longer in service. And then it lets go. You release that, and the key comes back out and re-engages. I'm not getting the vibration or any indication that the half nut adjustment is off. But I will look at that. And one thing that I thought was going to take care of it for sure was this piece right here has these screws, and they are for shimming. And that plate does need to be shimmed out a bit. Now that's probably a little too much. Probably going to go with maybe 2 of these. Seems about right. But I'll certainly play with that. But for right now, I want to check the engagement of this gear on the rack. That gear just kind of floats around in there once the back of the apron is pulled off. And well, we'll see when we get it apart. So I'm just going to have to look at this as a learning experience, because there's nothing else to do. I mean, I could go ahead and get the saddle on and hope things improved and end up taking it all off again. Bent lead screw, I highly doubt that. I took measures not to store the lead screw in a situation where it would bend. I think it has to do with that internal gear that has the retractable key in its engagement with the spur gear that hits the rack. I don't know if it's a spur gear or not, but the gear here that engages with the rack. I sensed put some grease on the rack, which isn't gonna hurt anything. And I put a light skim of grease on the lead screw, just running a toothbrush over it. There's no accumulation really of grease. It's just a thin coating over parts of it. Okay, so what can I say, guys? It's coming off again. Enjoy the video. Wish me luck. I really want to have this thing running correctly. And thank you so much for your advice, your wisdom. Okay, here we go again. I've got let's call it the heel. I got all the screws out of that. Got all the screws out of this plate. I'm gonna put this in and leave that in feed. Now it's just a matter of having the right tool. Well, it seems that I don't have this screw fully disengaged. Okay, now it's get a little weight off of it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Need to pull this top directional rod out a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be able to do. It needs to come down. I'm binding that. Next time I will free that up before. What it is I should have freed this rod before I lifted it up, released everything, so I need to get it up a little bit. Okay, that's where it should have been in the beginning. It wasn't moving freely because I got my straps on that. So let's pull this thing out. Take a look at this mechanism. So I believe my issue. So on the front of the apron here, there's a knob on this, the end of this, okay? Pulled out, that releases this gear. Pushed in, it's supposed to re-engage, but it clearly isn't. Functioning the way it should. So we're going to pull that out and take a look at it. And like I said before, there's a kind of a retracting keyway that I believe isn't functioning properly. So let me get that out and I'll show that to you. Okay, here are my findings. Okay, this shaft here goes through here. The hand wheel turns here, activates this, which turns this, which cranks up and down the rack. Okay. Here is that. Okay. This is the retractable keyway that I speak of. And currently speak of. Spoke of and currently speak of. What I believe the problem was, or is this, where'd it go? This key on the outer shaft here had fallen out of place at some point and was not engaging. I believe that is the culprit. Okay, I am not going to rush and put this thing back together right now, so we're going to end this video here. I hope I have the issue resolved. Nothing else has changed. I want to thank Kev and George Woosky for their comments. I need some 35mm film negatives. Or maybe I just need to buy some film. I need this to act as a bush around my pulley on my main pulley for the motor and this part that turns shaft out of the clutch. So I still have to resolve that, where I can put the belts back on and this and that. Yeah, I think that key being out of place was my issue. And luckily, it just kind of presented itself to me. And, well, I actually saw there was a key missing first, and then I found it. Which probably attributed to rushing. I have to say, builder error. Not perfect. And hopefully that was the issue, and I do see now that the half nut can be adjusted from the back of the apron. Now the apron still has to come off the machine, but you don't have to take that plate off, interfere with that retracting keyway. And I'm gonna blow that out, clean it out, oil it out with some, I have some fine machine oil, silicone based, I guess. So I guess my takeaway from this is if you're taking something like this apart, inspect all the components you have access to and address any details, no matter how minor, because you may end up taking the whole thing apart again. I could have fixed this without even taking taking the apron off. I could slide it in the front. However, I did want to get this cleaned and lubricated, get it working properly as well. It seems to be fine now, but a little bit of oil down in here, inside there. It has an oil groove in it, spiraled around, an oil hole. So it should be fine once it's operational. Well, that's it, guys. Appreciate you watching and hanging out for many parts. It's hard to believe that we started here. We had the headstock off, the gearbox, tightened up 2 grub screws on the shifting fork. Something I failed to do the first time when reassembly. And that's really the only reason I needed to take the headstock off. But while I was there, I went ahead and replumbed my oil line coming up to the top of the head, which has never been connected properly since my ownership. Alright, like and subscribe, tell a buddy, bring a friend. Amidst all the frustration, I'm still having fun. And the satisfaction I will derive from making parts, projects, well worth any frustration that may be in my path.